Season 1, Episode 1. The episode begins with a massive drone shot swooping over an empty desert with a gigantic circle has been drawn in glowing red paint. As the camera dives toward the center, Jimmy stands inside the circle surrounded by towering steel crates stacked high like a fortress. Fortress. He explains that today's challenge is a brutal test of endurance and strategy called the Circle of No Escape. The rule is simple: do not leave the circle, everything else will try to force you out. Dozens of contestants run into the circle as alarms echo across the desert. Jimmy waves as they take their positions. The first phase begins instantly when the steel crates surrounding the circle burst open, releasing high-powered wind machines that start blasting the players from every direction. Sand like a storm. People crouch behind shields provided on the ground while others struggle to stay on their feet. Jimmy laughs as he watches contestants in the slide across the sand, trying desperately to stay inside the circle. When only 30 remain standing, Jimmy activates the second phase. A giant crane lifts a container above the circle and dumps hundreds of bouncing dodge balls coated in slippery gel. The balls ricochet around widely. Contestants slip, fall, collide, and scramble to regain balance. Every time someone steps out of bounds, a massive horn blasts, and Jimmy announces their elimination. The chaos becomes hilarious and competitive as players try to dodge and survive at the same time. Once the field is down to 15, Jimmy reveals the third phase. The ground inside the circle begins to shift. Hidden mechanical panels rise and sink like moving platforms, turning the flat surface into an unpredictable terrain. Some contestants try to jump between safe spots while others cling to the higher panels. The desert intensifies, making every step risky. Jimmy keeps shouting commentary as the circle becomes a battlefield of precision and luck. Finally, when five players remain, Jimmy walks to the edge of the circle holding a remote. He presses a button and the entire circle begins to shrink. The glowing line tightens slowly, forcing the remaining contestants closer together. Everyone feels the pressure as the shrinking boundary makes movement limited and mistakes deadly. The tension rises with each step backward. The final two contestants face each other in the smallest possible circle, barely large enough for both to stand. Jimmy announces the last twist. A sudden burst of wind shoots shots across the ground and knocks one of them off balance. They stumble backward, their foot barely crossing the red line. The horn blasts loudly. The other contestant remains inside, raising both arms in victory as confetti cannons explode from hidden crates around the desert. Jimmy rushes and lifts the winner's arm and celebrates the end of the first episode. He reminds everyone that this was only the beginning and the next episode will introduce a completely new challenge with a totally different way to survive. The sun sets behind him as the episode fades out, marking the official start of season 1.